Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News at 6 starts now.
We're tracking severe weather here at 6 o'clock. A severe thunderstorm warning for Macomb County is set to expire in a few moments, but other warnings remain.
Been a busy couple of hours. Let's get right to Kim Adams here as we start things off at 6. Kim.
Well, let's start with the two active warnings that we have. This one about to expire in Macomb County within the next 30 seconds, but the one down in Monroe County remains in effect for the next 30 minutes. But there's still a strong thunderstorm even up into Macomb County. So I'm going to start there because if you live in St. Clair, north of Marine City, you're getting quite a bit of lightning, heavy rain, and also high winds and large hail in some spots. Richmond, New Baltimore and also New Haven getting a thunderstorm at this hour as well. Moving off to the east, so this cell right here will be in St. Clair at 6:15. So if you live in St. Clair, even though you're getting a thunderstorm now, just be aware you're not quite done yet. By about 6:20, you should be in the clear. Now down in Monroe County, same thing for the city of Monroe. You'll get a thunderstorm here within the next 5 minutes or so, but then there's one back behind that. So it might stop for a minute, slack up a little bit, and then another storm hits. And that is severe. It does have hail and high winds, so it will be in Monroe at 6:18. We are also now getting some reports of high winds and large hail, even though not severe, in parts of Dearborn and also Hamtramck. Be on the lookout there. Now I've just checked power outages and we're seeing an increase. Now in Wayne County, we're getting as many as 10,000 people without power, about 1,000 in parts of St. Clair County, Lapeer County. Oakland County is now right around 1,000 to 5,000 without power. So power outages due to the high winds. We're not out of the woods for severe weather tonight or tomorrow. We have another round. We'll talk about that in the forecast.
Okay, Kim. We want to update breaking news on a story we've been following throughout the day here. The man wanted for killing a woman in Detroit and assaulting another woman in a Troy parking lot is now in police custody.
Police had been searching for Andrew James Hall after surveillance video allegedly connected him to the parking lot assault. He was then being sought for a homicide that happened this morning on West McNichols. We've just learned the arrest took place in Dearborn Heights. So we will bring you more information as it becomes available to us. Trouble tonight for an executive within Ford Motor Company.
Yeah, Frank Louis Victor, the CEO of Ford Next, is accused of hitting his wife, then trying to set some of her expensive handbags on fire. Victor Williams live with more on this developing story. Victor?
Yeah, Kimberly and Devin, these allegations are definitely something you would not expect from a CEO, but what this man is accused of could be a black guy on his resume. Frank Louis Victor, the CEO of Ford Next and Vice President of New Business Platforms at Ford Motor Company, was arrested on Saturday following an alleged domestic dispute at his home in Oakland County. He's now being charged with assault with a deadly weapon and arson, both felonies after he allegedly tried to set 2 luxury handbags on fire with the lighter. Both bags were valued somewhere around $10,000. It's also alleged he slapped and headbutted his wife and hit her with the screen of an electronic tablet before he was taken into custody. He pleaded not guilty at 48th District Court in Bloomfield Hills and has been given a bond of $25,000. No one was home when we checked on Tuesday morning. We specifically asked a spokesperson from Ford about Louis Victor's status with the company, and all we got was this brief statement which reads, quote, "We are aware of what has been reported to the press, but it will be inappropriate to comment on personal matters." And this man is due back in court on July 18th. Victor Williams, Local 4.
Victor, thanks.
Quite a bit of shock surrounding the arrest of a Dearborn man police say was running an illegal dental clinic in his basement and now stands accused of shooting and killing a man who came to him for a root canal. Sean Lay with reaction from friends and family of the victim. Sean.
People in Dearborn tonight, they tell me they are demanding answers. A young man going to a dentist who was allegedly practicing in the basement of his home, going there because he was in pain, he needed help. He ended up being shot to death. They want to know why that deadly shot was fired. Also, they tell me this dental practice was apparently known around town to be in that basement for years. They want to know why it went unnoticed. No one shut it down. No answer at the Dearborn home of Zayed Al-Badour, a home where sources confirmed to me that Al-Badour was allegedly running a secret dental clinic in the home's basement. This after at one time being rejected to practice dentistry in the state of Minnesota. The board there finding Al-Badour did not have the proper education to be a dentist. But last week, neighbors watched as police swarmed the home after a young patient of Al-Badour's, Ahmad Nasruddin, was shot and killed inside. The shooting happening just after midnight last Thursday, but neighbors saw police activity hours later at 6 in the morning.
The deceased was still in the house, so I think there was a gap there.
The family of 28-year-old Ahmad Nasruddin says he could not afford a root canal and went to Al-Badour, who they say charged about $100 to do that dental work in his basement. The pain afterward was so intense, we're told, he asked Al-Badour for help. Family says Al-Badour told Nasruddin to come to his home at midnight last Thursday. Nasruddin was shot in the head. The basement dentist is charged with his murder. This is Nasruddin's sister.
I think my brother told him, like, if you're not gonna fix my teeth, if you're not gonna give me medicine, I'm gonna tell about your illegal clinic.
Now, protests popping up in Dearborn. Ahmad Nasruddin's friends demanding answers how a basement dentist clinic could go unnoticed for years, and why an unarmed patient seeking help for pain would be shot and killed. We have asked Dearborn police today to update us on the homicide, the shooting inside that home, also what they can tell us about the alleged dental practice in the home's basement. So far, no response. However, this case goes to court next week. We may learn a lot more of those details that we are looking for. Sean Lay, Local 4.
Hey, Sean, something in the Flint River has Genesee County concerned. The county says people should stay away from the Flint River, even though the city of Flint still doesn't know what's in the water or how it got there. Karen Drew is here with the story. Karen.
Well, it's been almost 2 weeks since someone illegally dumped hundreds of gallons of something into the Flint River. Now, the city of Flint says it's investigating the issue, and so are we.
So I grew up fishing this river and everything around it.
After decades of industrial pollution, it took years to finally clean up the Flint River. Terrence Barr fishes here regularly.
Walleye, catfish, great smallmouth bass, a lot of smallmouth bass, pike. I mean, you never know what you're gonna catch because it's a river, you know.
But last month, someone dumped 200 to 300 gallons of contaminated liquid into the Flint River. Genesee County was concerned enough to issue an advisory telling people to not have any contact with the river. Our investigative team went to Flint a week after the spill and saw a containment boom still in place. The spill is completely under control now, but here's the issue of concern. We discovered the city waited a week before investigating local sewer pipes. Sewer lines could reveal where and how the contaminant got into the river. We talked with state experts who tell us that should have been done right away. Why wait a week?
You're the first one that's telling me about a spill that just happened.
In a statement, Flint Mayor Sheldon Neely said the substance did not get into the river on its own. We are confident that this is the result of human activity. The city says the substance dumped into the river is a petroleum product. Tests will reveal what the substance is, but for now, who dumped it? That mystery continues, along with frustration.
Oh, this river's been here since for years, generations, you know. The Indians travel it from here to there, so, and I don't know, if we don't take care of it now, what are we gonna do later?
Okay, so we did ask the city of Flint, why did it wait a week to scope the sewer pipes to try and find the source of the substance? In an emailed statement, the city said in part that it had to wait until after the July 4th weekend to assemble the appropriate equipment and team to scope the sewers. The city also said it took immediate action to eliminate the risks to the river. You can read the full statement from the city of Flint on clickondetroit.com. Test results to identify that substance is still pending, so we don't know still, Kim, what's in there.
Right, and then you've been being asked to stay away from it. So the Flint River also was polluted last year, too. This is kind of reminiscent.
Right, and every time we hear about Flint and water, you know, our alarms go off. And yeah, there was a spill last year. It was worse than it was this year. It was caused by Lockhart Chemical Company. By the way, Lockhart was sued by the state attorney general. It's now out of business. We are going to stay on top of this. I want to know what's in the river.
Yeah, really.
And it really shouldn't take 7 days to do those tests.
Absolutely
That's
not.
Right.
Well, we know you'll stay on top of it, Karen. We appreciate it. Devin.
With Debbie Stabenow deciding not to run for re-election, there is no shortage of candidates right now lining up to run for her U.S. Senate seat in 2024. Some have run for office before. One who hasn't is Hill Harper, best known for his acting career. Harper held his first campaign event today in Detroit, and our Pamela Osborne was there.
And it's going to be tough for us.
A day after actor and activist Hill Harper announced his run for Senate, he rallied with Detroiters like Melody Harvey at Cadillac Square.
But it's so exciting to know that he chose Michigan and he wants to make the difference for us here.
Harper says his campaign is grassroots, powered by the people he hopes to serve.
We've been all over the state, and what we're learning is we're hearing the same thing, whether you're a farmer in the upper part of the state or whether you're a single mom at the corner of Mack and Drexel, folks feel like their cost of living is way too high.
His message today, a deeper dive into the thoughts and ideas he expressed in his campaign announcement video, which read like a letter to his son. It all resonates for Jerome Barney.
I've been a Republican, I've been an independent, and now I'm a Democrat. I'm a Hill Harper Democrat.
He vowed to fight for freedom for all.
It's important because Phil Hart fought for civil rights. Phil Hart fought for unions and labor and living wage. Phil Hart fought against racism. And it would be a shame if Michigan does not send a senator to Washington who will most likely sit in that Phil Hart building that doesn't represent the values of Phil Hart.
So that's our Pamela Osborne reporting. This makes 9 candidates for Michigan's 2024 Senate race. They are, we'll go in alphabetical order here, businessman Nasser Beydoun, attorney Zach Burns, Hill Harper, of course, business person Michael Hoover, former state rep Leslie Love, State Board of Education President Pamela Pugh, State Board of Ed member Nikki Snyder, Alyssa Slotkin, currently in the U.S. House, and attorney Alexandria Taylor. Last Republican to serve as senator from Michigan, you have to go back to Spencer Abraham, who lost his seat to Stabenow back in 2000.